Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the Third Eagle of the Apocalypse and the co-prophet of these end times. Would you believe the Vatican has come up with another evil satanic logo, which they are promoting for next year's World Meeting of Families in Dublin, Ireland. And in the last couple of years here on YouTube, I have had to point out dozens of very evil designs coming out of the Vatican ever since Pope Francis took over, ever since the Holy City has been trampled underfoot by the Gentiles. And I have been doing this, as I say, for at least a couple of years, and I want to show you a couple that I pointed out to you before. This is for the Year of Mercy. Maybe you remember this. And according to the Vatican, this is Jesus carrying Adam. The only problem is that's not an Adam. That's an Eve that he is carrying. In other words, this is a promotion of transgenderism. And a couple of years ago, they had the World Meeting of Families in Philadelphia. And I showed you at that time this design. And if you complete these shapes in the background, I mean, they've hidden it fairly well. This is a promotion of homosexuality. All kinds of evil has taken over the Roman Catholic Church because it is being trampled under by the Gentiles. Now here's the newest one. This is called a Morris, and they are having a World Meeting of Families, as I say, next year in Dublin. And if I focus in maybe a little bit, you can see what this O of Morris is. That is the evil design of 3 6s. Now, having a cross on top of the world is not that unusual, and in fact, it would be Christian. But not to have the world formed by 3 6s. What they are trying to tell us, in my opinion, is that the Catholic Church has been taken over by the Antichrist, as Mary prophesied at La Salette. Now, here's a close-up of this image so you can see what I'm talking about. The 3 6s are pretty obvious. I've outlined it for you. And the cross is minuscule. They are de-emphasizing the cross. They are emphasizing Satan. And that's because they have found out, just like the secular world, that if you want to be successful, you have to pay homage to the Lord of this world. And that is, of course, Satan. And that's not unusual in the secular world. For example, I'll give you another example. This is basically the same image. 3 6s, and I'm sure you recognize that logo. And actually, that's more subtle than what the Vatican came up with. And this is better what they should do. Why can't they have a symbol in which the cross is dominant, in which the cross is over the world? That would be perfectly all right. I could accept that. What they are using for their image, this is their image again, this is called a triskele. It's thousands of years old. It's based on a pagan symbol or logo, and I'll show you some other examples. I got this off of Google Images. There's lots of different ways that you can show a triskele, or a triskelion it's called. And in other words, it's got 3 different legs or 3 different arms. If it has 4 arms, it's called a swastika. If it has 2 arms, it's called a yin-yang. But all 3 are pagan. And as I say, if this is the Vatican one, this they are promoting heavily for their next year's World Meeting of Families. And to me, it's pretty obvious, isn't it to you, that those are 3 6s? How come it isn't obvious to the people in the Vatican? How can they approve of this kind of an image? Can't they see it? I mean, this is really in your face. Maybe they want it to be in your face, or maybe someone in the Vatican is crying out for help. Maybe they're crying out saying that we have been taken over by Satan. Help us out. And anyway, that's my message for today. And before I go, I want to give thanks for all the people who have been helping me since my last program to raise seed money for my new book. I want to thank especially John in Connecticut, Stephen, Eugene, all of those I believe are from the United States, Samuel, I'm not sure where he's from, Amaral, A-M-A-R-A-L. I don't know how to pronounce your name. He's in Norway. Thank you very much. Alma from Texas. Mary, and we had a problem with Mary, and she said that she hit on the button on PayPal for a $25 donation. It came out $305, and it subtracted $305 from her account. I gave her a refund, but be very careful. Make sure that the button you hit states the amount you want to donate. And I want to thank Gladys. She's donated before. Thank you very much, Gladys. And I want to thank Robert and Jennifer from Canada. George from California, thank you. And my last note I want to mention, I got a letter a couple of weeks ago from Kirk, and he did not give me a return address, and he wanted me to send him a free copy of Revelation Unraveled. I don't have any more copies of the book, Kirk. I am hoping in this next book I'm going to publish to include a second edition of Revelation Unraveled in the book. That is, if you help me out in my seed money. And as always, you can either hit the PayPal button on my YouTube channel or go to my thirdeaglemedia.com website. Thanks so much.